at the brand new Asus Zenfone 2. Now this is their flagship coming out in Q1 of 2015, and it comes in at a super affordable price. And it looks like it's taking design cues from some of the other manufacturers out there with the rounded back, but at first glance it kind of looks like the LG G3 since it has the volume buttons on the back. But the difference is that the power button here on the Zenfone 2 is on the top. Looking at the back of the phone, the back is removable with a dual SIM configuration, has a micro SD card slot for easy cheap expansion, also has a 3000 milliamp quick charge battery, and on the back there is a speaker there with the Zenfone branding and also the Intel branding. Coming around to the front, this is a 5.5-inch 1080p display at 400 nits brightness, and inside it's being powered by the brand new quad-core Intel Atom chip at 64-bit, and it also has 2 GB of RAM on this version I'm messing with, but also comes in a 4 GB version with dual channel RAM configuration. Yes, I said 4 GB of RAM. Now it's available in these cool colors like red and white, and also many multiple colors, so you'll be able to get the one that you like when it is available. The software powering this device is Android 5.0 Lollipop, so it's really nice to see that on this new flagship device, and it does run Zen UI, and it's a new version of that. So if you're used to using their phones like the Pad phone, then you'll be pretty familiar with their skin on top of Android. Just messing around with it here on the show floor, everything seemed pretty responsive with the UI, swipes, and gestures. Everything seemed pretty fluid, but I tried to run a ton of applications on here. I had a ton running, and I did get it to stutter a little bit here, but these are only the 2 GB of RAM versions, and the 4 GB of RAM versions I could not get my hands on, so I'm pretty sure that the performance will be good on those. But these are only $199 when they become released for the 2 GB version, which is an incredible deal when it comes to all of the specs and all of the features that you're getting with this phone. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing if this will be the best budget flagship of 2015. No word on which countries will get this release yet, but does have a ton of LTE bands to support a worldwide release. Now here is the new Zen UI. All you have to do is tap on the home capacitor button twice and it shrinks it down to a one-handed gesture, and you've seen this before to make it easier to use with one hand. The one thing that I found interesting is you have a pattern unlock on most phones, but here it supports more than one pattern unlock. So let's say that you wouldn't want somebody else to look at your pictures or your data, then you can actually give them a different swipe pattern unlock to actually hide those things. I thought that was pretty interesting. The Zenfone 2 also supports gestures with the phone off. As you can see, I drew a C and opened up the camera, and also supports double tap to wake, which I love. Speaking of the cameras, let's talk about them a little bit. The rear camera is a 13 megapixel unit with f2.0 aperture, and the front facing camera is a 5 megapixel camera with the exact same aperture. The software is very basic. It's almost the same as I've seen on all of the other Asus phones before, and the video quality is maxed out at 1080p. I don't see any options here for 4K recording, and it looks like the camera UI works exactly the same here as most other ones. All you have to do is pinch to zoom here to get some zoom with digital zoom, and the shutter is pretty fast on first inspection here, and so is the focus. So I cannot wait to get my hands on this to do some real world testing and give you a good sample of what this camera can do. Diving a little deeper into the camera settings here, it looks like there are no shortage of different modes for this 13 megapixel camera. So let me know what you think about the new Asus Zenfone 2. I think this could be a very important device this year. It's only $199 for the 2 GB of RAM model. Of course, 4 GB of RAM will cost you a little bit more, but I think it's very feature packed and I like the hardware, so I cannot wait until this thing gets released. So make sure you subscribe to my channel if you haven't already for more content like this, and I will see you guys in the next video.